say welcome to episode 4, where I have absolutely no idea what's about to go on.
I don't know what's going on either. We have to do it.
We do?
Yeah, we just have to do it.
The people have asked for such a thing?
The people are like slamming our virtual door for content.
Okay, then. Okay, well, welcome to episode 4 of Unforced Errors. Today we are going to talk about, I don't know actually, but Carl's going to guide this one, and we have some questions from our AI guests.
Yeah.
Our AI audience, I should say.
Yeah.
But as always, I am Frank, and this is...
I am Carl, and this is a mediocre podcast by mediocre pickleball players.
Yeah, we're going to absolutely live up to that title today.
The podcast part.
Right. Carl, start us off. Where are we heading today?
So, Frank, I figured the people need to get to know you. They need to get to know me. We gotta open up a little bit.
Wow.
Be vulnerable with our audience.
We're great at that. This should go really well.
Well, our audience is more than just our friends and our family.
Yeah, it will be.
So I reached out. I got a couple questions from some people, and I also added some in here. And we're just going to kind of run with it and see what happens, where we go. If you find some news along the way, maybe we'll talk about some stuff like that. But this is kind of more of a meet and greet.
A meet and greet. I'm glad
FNC.
We waited till episode 4 to do it. You know,
that's what's
you don't want
mediocre.
to. You want to draw the audience in first, and then hammer them.
That's what it is.
With just nonsense.
Yeah, I don't want to let them know how dull we are.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea. I'm pumped. You know,
you seem really excited.
I'm thrilled to be here. We weren't prepared. I was not prepared to record episode 4 yet, but
we didn't know we were going to do it till like an hour ago.
Timing, it lined up, and here we are.
Yeah.
So
well, you were able to step away from your van project for a minute.
That's a whole nother discussion. We're not going to get on that topic right now. But yes, the holes in the floor have been patched.
All right. So, like I said, I want you guys to get to know me, get to know Frank. And so we're just going to start with some questions, some very basic questions, some general info.
Yeah.
If you will.
Social security number. Got it.
Yeah.
Understood.
What was your pet's name?
Yeah. See, I'm glad we're taking this so serious.
What street did you grow up on?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So basically, your name's Frank. We know that. Mm-hmm. Tell me how you got into pickleball, because you got into pickleball before I did.
I did. I recruited you to get into pickleball because at the time I always enjoyed tennis, but terrible tennis player. But enjoyed playing in college with some friends, never anything like properly sanctioned or anything, just going to the park and playing. And when I moved to Charleston several years ago, obviously Charleston has a huge tennis scene. Shout out Credit One Open. I'll be there tomorrow night. But I couldn't find anybody to play tennis with because I'm at a beginner level. There's a lot of people that play tennis here, but none of them are going to want to play with me. So I was like, I'll ask on Instagram. Maybe someone will be interested in just going to hit. You know, I haven't played in so long. And basically my wife and I we went and played, just her and I, just hit the ball. And she's not going to actually watch this, so I can say she wasn't great. She did blast the ball out. She's powerful, very small, very mighty.
Oh yeah.
So she's a little bit, how do I put this nicely? Like psychopath.
Yeah, that's
when it comes to competitive things.
Oh yeah, very competitive.
Very. So immediately after we played one time, I was like, "Oh well, let's go we're going to start taking lessons
or counseling."
It's kind of a combination. Shout out to Phil and West Ashley over there because he was great. But yeah, so she was like, "I'm going to start taking lessons," which she told me. Okay, great. So she was about to be going, and out of nowhere, she said, "Hey, why don't you come with me?"
Nice.
Said, all right, fine. I'm happy to go. I'll just go and hang out. Like, I don't need to be a part of it. I'm not trying to take away from anything. And she was like, no, you should come and do that. Okay. So we went, and of course, we started playing, and I'm better than her because I've played tennis before. She had never touched a tennis racket in her life. And so the coach says, or the instructor says, hey, I think, you actually have some potential here. And immediately she's livid because this is supposed to be about her getting better so she could beat me. Now the coach is complimenting me. I'm not supposed to be there to begin with. So when people ask, why don't you play pickleball anymore with your wife? It's because it's not great for the relationship. Okay.
She did play a few times when I started with you too.
Yeah. And she actually started getting good at, like, we were not getting, I don't want to say we were getting good, but we were like definitely getting better.
Well, she was good at pickleball.
But she was getting better at tennis. But then it was like, I was trying to do tennis. And then I was like, well, maybe people are interested in pickleball also, because I was like, I don't know the longevity of this. How long is it going to take me to spin up and to be like a reputable, like go to open play for tennis?
Yeah.
And so we did a few lessons and, it was fun. And I did go to a couple like cardio tennises, but I was like, I don't have the people to like play with.
Well, your body screams cardio.
Always. I mean, if you look at me, I'm sweating right now. So, I mean, you can absolutely see the sheen from the studio not having the air conditioning on, which we might be turning on halfway through this episode. But anyways, I reached out to people on Instagram and I said, anybody want to play tennis? I'll even consider pickleball. Multiple people, every person that responded, everybody wanted to play pickleball. I was like, I guess, like, I don't really want to play pickleball. I wanted to just play tennis.
Yeah.
But multiple people, including you and your brother, were like, oh, yeah, I'll definitely play pickleball.
Yeah, I had never played.
Never.
Like, at all. I didn't even really know what it was. I knew like a couple older people that I knew played and stuff like that and talked about it. But I had no idea at all.
See, I played in like gym class many years ago, and it was with the wooden paddle indoor with like taped lines. And I thought, why would you do this? Why wouldn't you just go play tennis? This doesn't make sense to me. This is like playing ping pong.
So you're saying hot take, Frank. You're saying tennis is harder than pickleball, though.
Yeah, really a hot take. Turns out you do have to be an athlete to play tennis, and you don't necessarily have to be. Is that your phone?
I think it was yours.
My phone's on silent. It's definitely not my phone.
Mine says it's on silent. Oh, it was my MacBook.
That's really perfect. We're doing great here. You can tell.
Episode 4.
We have thrown this together. It is being held together by bubblegum and duct tape right now.
Let me turn on Do Not Disturb here.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm glad we're, 7 minutes in and we've decided we're going to make some adjustments.
All right, but back on track. You're saying that pickleball is way harder than tennis.
No. I'm saying tennis way harder than pickleball. Let's get that straight. You got to actually I feel like you really have to put effort into tennis,
I agree.
Where that's the bar with pickleball that's, I guess, a blessing and a curse. Mm-hmm. But if you wanted to, you can just walk out there and you can have a great time and be terrible. And there's plenty of people that want to do the same thing. They don't really want to take it that serious. It's like, let's just go out and have fun. And that's what's great about pickleball. But then if you want to take it serious, there's plenty of those people as well. Oh, yeah. And especially now over the years, and you watch how open play has grown. When we first started playing, it's been, 2 years now? I think it's like a year and a half for me. Yeah. I played a little bit, like maybe a couple months before you. So, you look at the open play when you first started going, so many people didn't know how to play.
Oh yeah.
And it was like a whole thing. And now you go and it's like some of the open plays you can't even go unless you already know the rules. Mm-hmm. But even if you go to a public court, you don't really see a lot of like super beginner now.
Yeah.
You do once in a while, and it shouldn't discourage people from starting. I'm just saying that
but it can be discouraging.
The game is grown so much in such a short time.
I would say there's certain courts around here where you don't see a lot of beginners, but then sometimes you'll go to some that have like bigger, like more courts and stuff like that during the day. You'll see a lot of families out there, people just getting into it. But it's crazy. You can see the growth just from when I started, how many people are out there, with the, whether it's the wooden paddles or something like that, they're just getting into the game. They're wanting to kind of experience it. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm a crazy person too. Like for me, how I started, was a little different. It was basically you just saying, "Hey, do you want to play pickleball?" And I was like, I swear, I didn't really know what it was. I looked it up and I was like, "Oh, that looks kind of fun."
But you had played ping pong and tennis.
Yeah.
So you were familiar, and you're good
recreationally.
Sure, but you're
I was
also
familiar with the like racket sports in general.
And you're good at any non-traditional sport. You and your brother Corey are
Yeah,
annoyingly
average.
quick to pick up things that are non-traditional.
Yeah, I felt like I did pick it up a little quick until I plateaued, but that's why we're here, trying to get better. But I remember going out, trying it, and I feel like I was like instantly hooked on it. I don't know why. It was just like, so before that, it was all disc golf. I was obsessed with disc golf. Still love it. But it gave me like another outlet, and like from the first time I played with you, I was like, "Hey, I need to get a good paddle."
Yeah, you are the reason that this whole paddle obsession started.
Yeah, and you said, "Hey, just make sure you like it first." But I think I had already ordered a paddle, or at least knew what I wanted to order.
Yeah, I think you were the one that said what paddle to get, and I ended up buying it.
Yeah,
because I'm notorious for going down a rabbit hole on anything that I'm going to purchase.
Yeah,
big or
I
small.
did the same thing. It was a lot of like reviews and stuff, and landed on the Vatic, which I still love.
Yeah,
but yeah, and then I kind of just fell in love with it. I wouldn't say that we played a lot of singles to begin with, and I feel like I wasn't like, oh man, I want to play every day, every week, or anything. But I really liked it. But I was still choosing, if I had some free time, to go play disc golf and stuff like that. But I would say after a few months, it really started to kind of hook me, and I was like, I need to get out there. And my disc golf kind of went like this, and pickleball went. So that's where we're at now. I try to play as much as I can, which isn't as much as I'd like, but it's really fun. But that's how I got into it too. It's from you.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think like with the whole paddle thing is like, I started with Amazon paddles, which I think is what
it was like the Ben John.
Even before that, yeah, and I still have this set because I'm pretty convinced they all are all made in the same factory. So this paddle that
conspiracy.
I got, there we go. This paddle that I bought from Amazon is a set for like $30.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, I didn't know anything about paddles at the time. I wasn't looking at like $100 paddles.
Yeah,
the Vatic was like $100, but you could get it for $90 with the discount code." And I was like, I'm not spending that much. I can get these Ben Johns, who I know is the best. And these paddles are, I forget what they're, like Blue Lightning or something.
Yeah,
the paddles,
something like that.
And they came in like the exact same case as the Amazon ones. And they were like the same shape. And they're $80 for two. And I was like, well, at least that's $40 a paddle instead of, I'm like, you got to be crazy to spend $100 on a paddle.
Yeah, me too.
And I remember thinking like, well, they felt like a little bit different. But then the more I played with them, I was like, I don't think there's much of a difference.
No, not
that graphite style or whatever the material is on those. That's
at that level of paddle, I think they're all pretty much the same. Because I had that Amazon paddle too. That's the first one I got before I decided I wanted to move up. So I guess we kind of described what our first impressions were. That was kind of like another question here, just because I think my first impression when you asked about pickleball, I was like, man, that seems kind of lame.
And that's, I mean, and you generally do hate everything.
Yeah.
So that's a typical response.
Yeah. But, I'm not afraid to say that I love it now, having a good time with it. It's become a new obsession for me. So get out there, give it a try, give it a few games before you decide if you hate it or love it.
Yeah, and go play with people that you enjoy hanging out with, because even if you're different skill levels and one person's terrible and one person's great, you're still going to have a great time.
Yeah.
Because it's all about, you can play with anybody and still have fun. That's what makes this so addictive.
Yeah.
And if once you take it more serious, then you're like, oh, I don't want to play with that person. They're too good or they're too bad or whatever. But that's kind of like as you go and you start to figure everything out. But I still, like, when we get our group together, we did it the other night.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just so fun to rotate teams.
Yeah, it's so fun.
And you can trash talk people. And if people aren't paying attention, you can blast them standing at the kitchen when they should be back.
Yeah.
I might have done that to you.
That's super nice to do to people. Yeah, they love it.
I did that to you. You deserved it. But
I did deserve it because I called your ball out.
No, I called it out and you said it was in.
Oh, it was in. That's what it was. Yeah.
And you and Corey were fighting me on it. I said, it's fine. So then you came to the line, totally not paying attention. And I was serving, or Brett was serving. And I was like, all right, well.
Yeah, well.
It's fine.
I'm a better friend, I guess.
Yeah.
I would have told you, but.
Well, we're not going to get into who's a better human here. That's not what this conversation's about.
I'll talk to Jamie later.
Yeah, of course.
So I guess what we should talk about too. I mean, we obviously love this so much that we started a podcast.
We did.
And a channel. And we kind of explained this a little bit, but what is the reason we wanted to call this Unforced Errors?
Well, we are literally unforced errors with legs. That's what we are. When it comes to hitting the ball out or into the net, which is an unforced error for clarification, anytime you make the error, not the opponent, that's us.
Yeah.
That explains our game to a T.
Any game we play, like the person that won is just the person who messed up less. There's no in between. There's no anything. It's like if I just hit it consistent, even if it's not a good hit, I'm probably going to win.
We've said it before, 3-5 and under. If all you can do is get the ball back over, you'll win almost all the time.
Yeah, and get in.
Because other people are going to try and crush the ball or they're going to try different shots.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. But if you can give it back to them and not just pop it up, but reasonable shots, just get it back over without being super risky, you'll mostly win. When we trained for that tournament, our whole thing was let's slow down.
Yeah.
Let's drop.
Yeah.
Because we play so much better. But then we get some of these power paddles or some of these paddles that are, so much more fun to drive with.
Oh, yeah.
And to smash with that you just get caught up in it. Or you get frustrated. And then it's like, I'm like, oh, now I feel like I got to hit harder.
Yeah.
Because nothing's working.
Yeah.
Like you think you can hit out of it. It's like, just slow down.
Yeah, it's a balance like anything else.
Right.
But it depends on what your goal is. If it's out there, if you want to go out and have fun with your friends, smack a ball or two. You know what I mean? If you're going into a tournament, then obviously consistency is the way to go.
Absolutely.
At our level.
Yeah, and I'm not saying don't go out and mess around and have fun, because with your friends, we could be out there using a ping pong ball on a pickleball court and we would have fun just messing around. Like, it's fun. That's the part of it. Is like you can play and mess around, and like we've played with trainer paddles and just messing around, and that's what's great about it is you don't have to take it very serious, but if you want to, plenty of opportunity to do so.
Yeah, so Frank, let's talk about some specific like pickleball related questions here from a couple viewers here.
Wow.
If you had to describe your pickleball game in 3 words.
Not very good. I was just trying to think of how do I put trash into 3 words. Inconsistency to max. Sometimes I play like a 3.5 or so, and then sometimes I play like a 1.5, which doesn't actually exist in the rankings, FYI.
I'm right there with you. That's a great explanation. Perfect 3 words.
We're working on it, and that's why we're taking lessons and
working on it would be.
That is absolutely the answer to that question. See, it worked itself out. Yeah.
Well, let's go. What's your favorite shot? If you have to take one of these, if it's a dink, a drop, or a drive, what shot are you going with?
Oh, I'm probably driving, but what should I do? I should be dropping.
Yes.
And then dinking.
I'm right there with you.
Right. But the drive is just we could play 3 games and I'm like into the 3rd game before I'm like, why am I not dropping?
Yeah.
Why am I still doing this?
I'm the same way. And I remember when we started, because we did a lot of singles, so we weren't really kind of dinking around and stuff. But I remember hating.
Oh, yeah.
Even the idea of dinking the ball.
You were against a lot of aspects of this
I was like,
game.
Why don't we just hit it? You know what I mean? And it wasn't until I started doing doubles and all that stuff that I started to realize the importance of that. Once you get up to the front of the net, you know what I mean? People were just dinking it over, and I could not figure out how to do that without popping it up or hitting them with the ball. And so then I realized how important it is, and now I actually enjoy it. But driving has definitely become like the standard for a lot of people recently, with the game getting faster, even in the time that I've played it.
Yep.
So I would say drive is my go-to, but drop should be as well.
Yeah. And if you play with bangers, I mean, even at the kitchen, they're just going to rip the ball at you. So, and if you can't field it, why would they stop doing it? And so that's the thing. If you're not able to block it or reset it, that's just how it's going to go.
But then you'll get to a certain level where it's like,
they'll block everything.
Yeah.
I've done it where I've drove like perfect drives and people are just, and I've looked at you like, I don't know, I guess I'll drop, but I also don't want to get into it. If this person's blocking all my hard drives, then I probably don't also want to get into a dinking battle with them.
Yeah.
Because they're probably good. That's usually how that works.
Yeah.
The game complements one another.
That's very true. That's very true.
What else do we have here, Carl? Give me something that's I'm going to have some reasonable answer for.
All right.
Maybe you should ask yourself a question.
You know what? This is good because this happened recently. Have you ever accidentally or on purpose called a ball out just to win a point?
No. Only if it's like our group and I'm just being
like the other night
silly
when you said it was out, but it was in.
No. I saw that clearly out. That's why I was so mad when you guys were fighting me. I was like, I can literally see the other side of the paint. What are we doing? But I do play with some people. We have played with a couple people that I can think of. No names will be mentioned.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
They probably watch this.
Yeah.
That are calling out balls all the time in rec, or they're like calling in balls that they hit. Oh no, that was in.
Yeah.
No.
It's so much more fun in rec just to like keep playing.
If it's close, you just play it. It's not that hard. Yeah. I don't know why we have to be like that, but that's just personalities. Some people are so competitive that they would do that. My wife would definitely do that. She would definitely call an in ball out.
I can't wait for her to see this.
She's never going to watch this. It's queued up on her Spotify as she gets ready for work. And I don't think she's made it past like maybe 19 seconds.
So, Frank, have you had any pickleball injuries?
I have not. But
because people say it's like a game for old people, or at least that's what they say. You know what I mean? It's a game for everybody.
Yeah, and like that stigma was like, people love that. When we first started playing, I got that all the time.
Me too. I get it too.
Then people would come play, and then they were immediately hooked.
Yeah,
and I was like, cool. So now you get it.
Yeah, yeah. But I have gotten injured a few times. Nothing serious. But sometimes I'm out there and I'll play with people that are like 80 years old. And I'm like, dude, I hope I can move that good at that age because I'm struggling right now. And my worst, I guess, as far as like embarrassing injury is I reached over the net to pick up a ball and threw my back out. Tried to walk back on the court, but then I had to leave in the middle of a game with my head down.
I do remember this, and it was unreal because I was like, I don't get it. The point was over. All you did was bend over the net
and pick up a ball. Yeah, I haven't done it since. I won't do it. I'll just hit it with my paddle or something.
Well, you are easily injured.
Yeah,
it makes me nervous anytime you like full go for a ball. I'm like, oh no, he's going to hurt himself.
Well, I have this elbow, like
a lot of issues,
and then I did I rolled my ankle real bad one time, but that's about it.
Yeah, see, I had injury prior to, which is what landed me to playing because I have, and still do have, a herniated disc that was really bad at one point to where I couldn't walk properly for several months. I mean, didn't walk upright probably for over a week. Started taking physical therapy, and the physical therapist said, so what do you do for like exercise? I said, oh, I think you can probably tell by looking at me, not much. I said, I walk my dog, at the time we were walking him like 6 miles a day.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that's great.
Yeah.
But you're in your 30s. You're not 60 or 70. Walking isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, you got to tighten that core.
You need to do something else. And so once I got back into being able to function to some degree, I was like, I think pickleball might work because tennis is a lot of ground to cover, especially in singles. I was like, smaller court, smaller bursts. This might work. And it has been great at keeping me active and not only burning calories, but keeping the muscles moving.
Yeah. And keeping that competitive edge, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're growing up in like school sports and you're so competitive and you have that drive. Then you get out and you kind of lose a little bit of that, at least for me. That's how I was. You know, I played like adult league stuff, but I really like, and that's what I liked about disc golf too. Mainly because it was just me. No one had to rely on me. I didn't have to let anyone down.
I know you hate that.
But I just love the competitive nature of it, getting back into these tournaments. That's fun. And that's what I've really enjoyed about it.
Yeah, and we have a tournament coming up
Mhm.
here on the 12th at Pickleball Charleston event. Last one didn't go great. We were ready. We just didn't perform.
You were ready.
Well, we were ready. We played okay going into that.
Well, I got the new Nija shoes here,
Those shoes are clean.
so they're going to let me win.
I mean, I put those on, immediately did a kickflip on the pickleball court.
I saw it. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, that's just how it goes. I do like the look of those shoes a lot.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a great option.
I don't know why these are not. They need to just go ahead and market these for pickleball. Can we get these a specific pickleball
Dude,
branding on the
somebody
side? Because
reach out
people
to-
love that.
Reach out to Nija, reach out to Nike. Let's get these.
Because the sole is very durable, right?
Yeah, Stu was wearing these the other day too. I'm seeing more and more people wear these.
Yeah. I think the longer it goes on, people like to push against the obvious. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to wear a shoe that says pickleball. And I totally get it.
Yeah.
But like, let's try all the shoes.
Dude, I wore Vans to play disc golf in. Now a lot of people are wearing Vans too.
You wore, like I've said before, you wore Vans when we played pickleball. I don't know how you didn't roll your ankle in those, but you put proper shoes on
I
and
did
then
roll my
rolled.
ankle.
Yeah, but not with those.
No,
you had
not
your
with those.
actual
Yeah.
like laced shoes on,
You're right.
Nikes or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
They weren't those. I
No.
don't think, but
They were the shots.
yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, we answered some questions. Let's close this thing before people unsubscribe. But one last question.
Okay, let's hear it.
If aliens landed and challenged you to a pickleball match for the fate of humanity, who would be your doubles partner?
Oh, I mean, it's going to be you, and we're ending humanity, and we're going
Sorry,
out.
guys.
We're getting pickled, and we're sorry in advance. Okay, I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, what am I going to say, Jake Kuzmiter?
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be a good option.
That gives us a lot of chance. But then, what if I let Jake down?
Well, then you single-handedly ended humanity.
Yeah,
At least we can go down together.
that's what I'm saying. I don't want to bring Jake down. He should just be guilty by proxy at this point of being on the earth. But, yeah.
Well, there you have it, guys. You got to know us a little bit. Let us know if you want us to do more stuff like this when we have no content. And
We do have content. It's all just about to start coming out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just we weren't planning on recording this podcast.
no, it was
But
kind of the spur of the moment type
We
of thing.
both had an hour, so we said, well, let's give the people what they want. You know.
This is what the people want.
And clearly, you know, like I said in episode 3, we are podcast of the people. So
We are.
that's what we're doing here.
Well, thanks for tuning in to Unforced Errors with Frank and Carl, the mediocre pickleball podcast by mediocre pickleball players.
That sums us up. Thank you guys for tuning in.